What we're going to do here today is set up the new VS Brownie, demonstrate how easy it is to manage for 1 or 2 people, and jump in the water and go for a dive off Marathon, Florida. Let's get started. First thing we'll do is snap the travel case loose, put it aside. We're going to open the remote air intake. That's where the staff goes. We're going to pull the staff out of the gear bag and put the flag all the way to the top. This is the dry intake cap made of solid machine Delrin, right in our own factory in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. There we go. Open up the quick change battery door. This is one of our patent pending features in the VS system. Put a heat hose down through the hole in the bottom of the pan. That keeps the center of gravity really low when we're diving and makes the unit tow very gracefully. These are the padded storage bags for the Odyssey batteries. Open those up, grab the handle, and you just set these guys right in place in the tray. You check your spring-loaded mechanisms there for the contacts, and these are totally sealed batteries. They're sealed to about 30 feet of water pressure. They're also non-venting. They never vent hydrogen gas. They have a hydrogen recovery system in them, so while they're being used or while they're being charged, they never off-gas any hydrogen. They also have an FAA approval rating, so you can fly with these batteries. They're very stable. They're made in the USA, and they're considered true dry cells. Very stable for a very long period of time. You can store them away for a year or more without worrying about them deteriorating. Anyway, you just shut the lid, and that guy's ready to run. It has a time delay system, and there we go. It starts up just like that. The first thing we will do is set these battery bags aside. We will find the flotation tube in the gear bag, set it out nice and flat, open up the door to the big boat valve. This is unique to Brownies as well. It allows you to inflate the tube very quickly, but most importantly, it allows you to deflate the tube very quickly. So for storage, you just deflate it, put it away again. And it's all, inflatable boat quality material and valve stuff. This is our inflation adapter. It just goes in, twist locks. You take the end of the heat hose and you just put it straight into the flotation tube, and at this point you turn the Brownie on, and about a minute and a half or 2 minutes later the tube's fully inflated nice and tight. Here we go. A little time. That's about it. That's very tight. We're able to blow our tube up to where the material is stretched very nice and tight, and makes the unit float and tow across the surface of the water much nicer. We double stitch the webbing at every panel, so in effect, you've got a quadruple stitched tube system over the top of an oval shaped tube, and we call it the boat tube. It's very high quality, very lightweight, but yet nearly indestructible. All right, now we just pull the heat hose out, we remove the inflation adapter, then we put the seal cap back into the boat valve as a double security there, and now you've got everything neatly tucked away. At this point, we're going to take those quick change batteries back out and just temporarily set them aside. This makes managing the unit a single person deal. Neatly drop the heat hose down inside the flotation tube. Get your securing buckles down. You got 4 buckles that just snap into place. Loosen the straps up a little bit before you try it, makes it easier. Then you tighten them down while you're pushing on the pan. You want to keep that center of gravity really low. Another great unique feature about Brownie's intelligent designs, we have the lowest center of gravity of any system on the market today, and that's due to years of designing and diving these systems. There we go. On low center of gravity is super important. It allows the unit to have a very large surface area, so we can float and skim across the surface. But with the low center of gravity design that's unique to Brownies, we're also super stable in any sea condition that you would feel comfortable boating and anchoring and kind of having a recreational day in. Anything beyond a day that would be considered recreational is probably not a day that's great for diving anyway. So the Brownie's typically quite stable in those type environments. So the low center of gravity on the Brownie makes certain that we have the best possibility of never tipping over while you're down diving, and that's a combination of very intelligent design and the fact that the main hose system goes straight down through the bottom of the unit. With the VS, that's emphasized even further because we use the weight of the batteries down really low in the tray to keep that center of gravity even more like a well-designed boat. So it's very stable and very unlikely to tip over in any reasonable sea conditions. All right, now what we're going to do is hook up the main hose, the 60-foot downline, and we're going to launch the unit and then insert the batteries. This enables one person to launch and retrieve the unit. 2 people can launch and retrieve it with the batteries in, but a preferred option is to keep the unit super light. The batteries weigh 50 pounds total, and the unit by itself only weighs about 30 pounds. So without the batteries installed, it's easy for one person to grab the unit right in the center, pick it up, and launch it over the side of the boat without any burdens. So here's one method of doing it. You simply want to get the 60-foot downline hooked up. Notice how nice those quick release swivel fittings are to snap together. If you'll hold that, I'm going to launch the Brownie right through there, and then we're going to put the batteries in down in the water. So it's really about this simple. And I like to get it up to the top of the gunnel and then grab the heat hose, hold it with the center handle. Then I just get the edge of the Brownie parallel to the side of the boat and lower it down, and there we go. And that's on a pretty high gunnel off of a 38-foot fountain, which is historically a very deep gunnel boat. But if you'll hold that, I will keep one stable right there. And here's how this goes. Just open that door and you let gravity do all the work. You just set her in place, and then you reach and grab the second battery, right like this. Drop it in place, make sure they're secured down flat. Shut the lid, turn the system on, slight tongue away. Then you is where we uncoil the hose and get everything kind of going nicely. Shove it out that way. Main hose. It gives the unit a chance to kind of blow the hoses out. Alright, if you're diving a single diver, you'd put your 20-foot main hose right onto there. If you're going to dive 2 divers, you'd put a single Y divider on, and there you've got the 2-diver configuration. If you wanted to dive 3 divers, you'd take the second Y divider and put it on just like that. Since today we're only diving 2 divers, I'm going to take that extra Y divider off, put it away. That's how easy the fittings are to use. Then we get the 20-foot diver hose and the regulator all set to go. And here we go. It's about this easy. Click on, and then this is the neat part. You click that second diver on, listen to the Brownie. Variable speed. No one's breathing. So it senses that the airflow has stopped and it's gone to 0 RPMs, 0 energy consumption. Now it's time for us to just grab a bottle of water, relax, get the rest of our dive gear together, let these hoses continue to spool out. We'll get the rest of those coils out, and we'll make it nice and organized so that once we get in the water, everything will be just fun. And right now we just don't have much breeze or current to pull that thing away from us, so it's staying a little close to the boat. Typically you'd have a bit of a current or some wind to haul it away, but we're tucked in behind these trees right now, and it's kind of keeping everything really calm, and the Brownie just sitting still. Here we go. That's I try to get the dive rigs all neatly spooled out, and then I just kind of leave them hanging while I'm getting the weight belts and the rest of the gear together. There we go. I hang it like that so that ultimately when the Brownie does drift out there, we don't lose it. Here's our new commercial diver tow harness system. It actually has a neat little feature of you can add a very small 6 cubic foot bailout bottle onto it, or a 13, or you can put a 40 cubic foot aluminum back here, or even a full-size 63 or 80 cubic foot aluminum bottle will fit on the back of this beautiful harness. And it enables you to put block lead into these different weight compartments on the back, so you can adjust your horizontal trim attitude, and you can also add removable weight or put tools in these weight pockets on the side of the harness system. This makes it very easy to tow, haul extra tools and gear around. If you're scooter diving, it has a crotch strap on it so that the torque load of the scooter is applied to the entire harness and not to your arms. And we run the traditional bailout regulator on a necklace type configuration. So there you go. That's a beautiful way to dive all day. Our normal method of of attaching the Brownie to you is to clip it into this drop weight comer belt, where it also has the same weight pockets, and it's expandable from about a 24-inch waist up to a 45-inch waist. And it does hold the 6 cubic foot high pressure scuba system, or a 13 cubic foot high pressure scuba system with a completely redundant regulator. And these are all part of our XE packages. So there you go. We're going to show the retrieval of the Brownie now. And it's basically just in reverse. I'm going to wake the Brownie up for a minute just so you can hear that variable speed system. As you breathe. So that's about the noise factor that the people staying up on the boat get to hear while you're breathing. It's an intermittent cycle while you're breathing. That's one of the ways we get that extended battery time and the great performance of being able to dive 2 divers down 60 to 80 feet, or 3 divers 20 to 45 feet deep, depending on your own breathing pattern. But that's what the variable speed technology does for the diver. Gives you great performance and extended battery life. And we bring this thing back in. I usually just kind of coil all the hoses up so I can rinse them down with fresh water all at one shot, and then store them away individually after I break them down after that. But here we go. This is once again, here we go with the quick change battery feature. Reach down, grab a battery, hand it to your buddy, grab the second one, and those batteries can drop right back into the onboard charging station, or you can save them for later and put the second set of batteries in if you like. But it's just this easy. You just snatch the Brownie back up to deck. At that point you can disconnect the system and set it back on deck. You pop all the quick release buckles away. Take this flagstaff out, put it down at half mast, tuck the little stiffener away. That guy's done. And then all you've got to do is retract your heat hose back up through the hole and store it right in the battery compartment. And then you just have this little 28-pound package to move around. You can take the tube, and this is a very magical point that no other hookah manufacturer has ever been able to pull off, is this beautiful tube here. You just do a quarter turn on this valve, and about 45 seconds later this tube is stored in that gear bag. You don't do that with a Schrader valve like you find in a heavy tractor tube of the older style hookah systems. And then we just put that little safety valve back in, put it back in the gear bag, wash all your hoses and regulators down nicely, and let them dry, and then store them back away in the individual in pockets. There we go. That's the way it is.